Welcome back to another Rise Mindset video. In today's offering, I am going to share with you my $1 million morning routine. You can steal it and use it for yourself. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Linda and I am a mindset and human performance expert. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing you 7 powerful steps to a $1 million morning routine. And the difference of this video is I'm not just going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you why you're doing it. I'm going to be sharing with you the mindset science behind it. So let's start with step number one. Step number one is taking 5 minutes to quieten your mind. That might sound really easy, but if you're not in the habit of doing this, sitting quietly for 5 minutes without your thoughts being distracted, just sitting there, not really thinking about anything at all. And if you find yourself wandering to the to-do list of today, just bring your mind back and just focus on you for 5 minutes. I recommend that you set an alarm on your phone and you can listen to music while you do this. I have a great playlist that I will link on this video for you that you can listen to. The music should be calming, preferably no lyrics so you don't get distracted, okay? And you're going to just calm your mind for 5 minutes. And this is really important because a lot of people just kind of land into their day, they rush into their mornings and they don't have any control of their thoughts. And what you'll find is, what I find when I don't do this practice is that it's not positive thoughts that are rushing to the front of my mind, it's negative ones. So we are taking control of our thoughts so that we can spend more time thinking positively. Okay? So 5 minutes really calm your mind and set yourself up for this. We're just priming our mind for the work we're going to do. The next thing we're going to do is gratitude. And if you're not a stranger to personal development, this won't be new to you. And if it is, I'm going to go into it a little bit so you know how to do it. So with gratitude it's really by thinking about what you could be grateful for right now. And I recommend that you choose 5 things that you are grateful for right now that you already have. It could be your home, your relationships, your pets, a warm bed, it could be your job, business, whatever you're really grateful for. And be genuine about this. Don't just do this because you want to earn $1 million, okay? This is not going to work for you. It has to come from a genuine place. So you're writing 5 things you're grateful for, and how you write it is you write, I am so happy and grateful for fill in the blank. Okay? Then for the next 5 things, because there's going to be 10 things in total, I want you to use this space to call in things that you want in the future. So these are things you don't have right now, but you want to call in. So it could be that promotion at work you're looking for, a new car, or maybe you're looking for someone to help you with your website, or whatever it is you're looking for. More so in the shorter term, use this space to give thanks for it now, to be grateful for it now. And this is really powerful with the law of attraction, is when you're grateful for it now, it really magnetizes that dream or achievement closer to you. And again, a little bit like what we did for the first 5 things that we're saying that we're grateful for, we're going to write, I am so happy and grateful now that. And fill in that blank, fill in the scenario, fill in the goal, fill in the dream. And we do that for another 5 things. If this is the first time you're doing this, you might struggle to reach the 5 on each of those sections. Try at least to stretch to 3. And the reason being, it's really easy for people to think of 1 or 2 things that they're grateful for, or 1 or 2 things that they would like. But that's not really thinking. So when we have to go beyond the normal, we really have to stretch our minds, and that's what causes thinking. And this is why this is so important, is because we don't spend enough time actually thinking. And you're probably thinking, what's the difference between thinking and not thinking? You watching something on TV that's taking no real energy, you're just chilling on TV, watching something on TV. That's mental activity. That's not thinking. Thinking is when you're studying for an exam and you feel drained and it feels a little bit heavy. That's thinking, because thinking burns calories. Thinking takes energy. Okay, so we've had our 5 minutes. Spend a little time in your gratitude. Again, you could listen to music while you do this to get you into that lovely kind of feeling happy and grateful um, mood. And I recommend that get yourself a notebook or a journal for this because this is something you're going to do every day. I've got my nice hardback one here, and something I take a lot of joy in doing. And you're going to love doing this because you're going to feel good. Because you can't feel bad and feel grateful at the same time. It's impossible. So this is going to really lift your mood and make you feel good. Um, and that is the next part. So first part is quieting your mind. The second part is gratitude. The next part, and this is something that I was taught by my mentor, Bob Proctor, who you might know from The Secret. And I thought, ooh, this is so good. And the next thing is to send love to three people that are annoying you. You might think, well, what's the big deal about that? The thing is, it doesn't have to be a big deal. If it's niggling away at you, it's stealing your positive thoughts, okay? So, how do you send love to somebody? And that's what my clients ask me, Linda, how do I send love? Well, the best way I find to do it is to think of them, you bring them to the front of your mind, bring them into your imagination and picture them. And maybe you just need to forgive them. Like, let it go. Like, they're just doing their thing. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And for me, if I try and visualize, imagine myself giving them a hug, okay? Giving them a big warm embrace. You might say, Linda, I don't even want to touch this person. Never mind giving them a hug. That's okay. You don't have to love everybody, okay? But could you imagine them offering you an apology and you sharing a handshake? That's enough. And don't underestimate this, okay? Because those people that you're annoyed with, they're stealing, they're just robbing you of your energy and your positive thoughts. So let that go and do that practice. I don't really have anybody I'm annoyed at anymore, to be honest. And you get to a stage where people just don't annoy you anymore, which is also good. Um, but I love that practice. That really caught my attention when Bob was sharing that. I thought, ooh, because Bob never gets you to do anything for no reason. He always had a deeper purpose. You cannot be emitting this beautiful signal to the world that you're grateful and still holding on to anger and annoyance. It just doesn't work. The next thing is if you're a client of mine, you will be studying one of my high performance programs. Thinking End Results is one of them. But if you're not, what do you do? The next step is to read something positive. Pick yourself up a personal development book. I've got a couple here I recommend. The first one is Think and Grow Rich. And I'm sure many of you know this book. I've read through it many times. It's by Napoleon Hill, and you can get it. You can get it on Amazon. The next one is, and this is by my mentor Bob Proctor, is You Were Born Rich. And if you would like a free copy of this, there is a link on this video and you can get a free digital copy of this as a gift for watching this video. Okay, so just read 3 or 4 pages. If you've got lots of time, maybe you want to read a chapter, but even just, 3 or 4 pages is enough. You're just priming your mind. There's only good things in in these books. So you're filling your mind, you're filling your conscious attention with the good, with positive things, and you start to feel your mood lift. And what this does, it really opens up your mind to bigger things. Then the next thing, after you've done your reading, write out your goal. I mean, a big, beautiful goal, something that if time and money and energy, resources wasn't an issue, what would you love to do? What would you love to achieve? What would you love to have? Now, I always have to kind of caveat this with within the bounds of nature. We're not going to turn into unicorns and fly away, okay? So within the bounds of nature, but also what's legally and morally correct. Let's stick with something within those bounds, okay? I just write it out 3 or 4 lines, a little bit of detail about it, what it is you'd really love, okay? Then after that, we are going to visualize your goal. Visualize, for those who are new to this, is just closing down your eyes and tr using your imagination to create a picture of you achieving this goal, you experiencing the trip, or whatever it is that your heart is set on. Okay? And this might be easier for some more than others, but use what you can, use what you know, use images or memories that you have to create this picture. And the purpose of this picture is that we as human beings, we think in pictures, and pictures trigger that emotional response quicker. And it's that emotional response that's going to move our body into the direction of our goal. Because you know the difference when you're feeling sad about something or something bad happened. You don't want to jump out of your chair and take action on your goal. You want to curl up and you shrink and you feel tired. Okay? But this, when you're visualizing something that you really want and you're so excited about it, like really get into it, imagine, like, believe it's actually true. How would you be reacting? What would you be saying in this? And make it a little movie in your mind. You're going to be filled with inspiration and great ideas that are going to bring you closer to your goal. How long should you visualize? Ideally up to 15 minutes, and that's for somebody who's really disciplined. If you can hold that, the longer you can hold that vision in your mind, the more powerful it will be, the greater effects you're going to get. But that's not for everybody, okay? If you're starting from zero, that could be really hard. So just start off from 3 to 5 minutes. And the thing is, we're doing this every day, so you've got time to build it up as the days, weeks, and months go on. And I always say, something is better than nothing. If you can only stretch it for 5 minutes and that's the rest for the next 3 or 4 weeks, that's okay. Keep doing it. Visualize that goal. Imagine what it's like. I'm actually a big fan of visualization. I'm not a big fan of vision boards. For me personally, this is my own opinion. I think they're distracting. Often they just lie in a corner. We don't actually look at them. They gather dust. So what is their purpose? Um, but when you can create that vision in your own mind, you can hold that picture and like go all in. Like, what can you see? What does things feel like? What are the smells? Like, what are the colors around? Like, is it sunny? Like what's happening in that picture? Leave nothing out. And the more detail you can create, the more you feel pulled into that picture. And again, listen to beautiful, quiet, music, no lyrics. I've got, again, you can use the playlist I've got in this video or choose some of your own, but it's just to help you get into that state of being, because this is not really this morning routine is not a to-do list, it's not an action list, it's a state of being that we're creating. It's a state of being in our mind, and that's what's going to set us up for the day and set us up for success. The last thing then is our goal achieving activities. So we've written out our goal, we've done our bit of studying from our amazing books, we've done our visualization. You should be feeling really inspired and really like lifted up and energized and go, right, okay, time to think about your goal. What are 6 things I can do? 6 things you can do today to get closer to your goal. So you do them in one day, so they can't be huge things, but you can make a start on something a bit is bigger. But it can be really simple things. People like to make things really complicated. It could be just send an email. Is there somebody you've been meaning to talk to about something or ask a question? Lift up the phone. 30 seconds, you could have that question answered, okay? What is it that could bring you closer to your goal? And if you can't get 6 things, that's okay. Try and go for 3 things or 4 things or 5 things. I would say at least 3 things. It's easy to think of 1 or 2 things. Once you go beyond that, you're starting to think again, okay? I want you to get out of mental activity to actually generating your own thoughts. And thoughts use up energy. Thinking can hurt your mind. We've all been there. We've been focused on something for a long time. We feel drained. And this is the whole purpose of 1 or 2 things is easy. Thinking of 6 things to do, that's hard. Okay? So think of as many things as you can. If you think of 10 things, pick the top 6 and then put the other ones into tomorrow's list. And the most important part of this morning routine is this is just not something you pick up and you drop down when you want to. It's like, oh, things aren't going well, better start my morning routine. No, this is something that you're going to do every single day. Every successful person in the world has a morning routine that they do consistently every single day. Doesn't have to be this big, powerful, all bells, whistles. It's just seven simple tasks I've given you to do here every single morning. Set your alarm, get up that little bit earlier. Don't race through this like it's a to-do list, like, oh, if I do this, this is going to happen for me. If I do this, I'm going to be successful. Not if you rush through it. Remember, this is not a to-do list thing. This is a state of being that we are creating. So let's run through those seven things. 5 minutes of quiet time, practicing our gratitude, sending love to three people who are annoying us, read a few minutes, a few pages of personal development, something productive, study in one of my higher programs. Then you're going to write out your goal. And you can write 3 or 4 lines, you get a whole page. It's up to you. Okay? Then after that, we're going to visualize that big goal in our mind. Create that mental picture in our mind to trigger that emotion. You must trigger emotion. If you are not feeling excited or grateful, you're not connecting with this goal emotionally. It's that emotional part is the most important thing. Okay? And after we visualize, we're going to be filled with inspiration and really high vibes. And that's where we're going to make a list of 6 things that we are going to do today, by the end of the day, that will bring us closer to our goals. And that is my 7-step $1 million morning routine that was shared with me by my mentor, Bob Proctor. It has brought me a lot of success. It has brought hundreds of thousands of people around the world lots of success. And I invite you to join in with us. Let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed this video. And as always, I would appreciate a subscribe. See you in the next video.